Hey everyone, this is Alan. Hope all's well with everybody. Today I'm going to read a few poems, and quickly, of course. And I was asked recently, why do I hesitate in between reading? And it's to catch up, in a sense, and also to make sure my audience is with me and that my emotions are in line with that. So what I plan to do, what I'm hoping to do, since I've got this whole collection here, and I'm working on some reflections, is I'm going to read from recent poems that I've written, or are in process, I should say, as my friends have told me to say. So the one that sticks with me and probably more commercial is this one, and so this is where I will start and end with this new series as I'm advertising it. Long story short, I have been inspired by Ocean Voung's writing. I've been following his work as well as Carl Phillips and other poets that are online, and I've read literary criticisms and contemporary essays, and written my own fictional books reflective of my own life, but also of other people's lives that I've been involved in. And hopefully somewhere down the road you will purchase them. So let me find where I am. It's amazing when you're looking for something you can't find it, right? But this one is about relationships, and it's a word play. And I'm not sure if I'm going to change some spelling on things because it is such a word play. And so when you see it visually, as opposed to typed out, then it's a different thing. But these are poems that are indirectly related to my life in the present, and also related to probably other poets' lives, such as Ocean Voung's life, since our life parallels so much. My father was in the Vietnam War. He is a Vietnamese poet and writer. I never knew my father after the war for about 13 years. He came back and I was 2, and my parents got divorced. So, and so they separated and parted ways because of whatever had occurred or hadn't occurred in relation to their lives as aspiring, working, middle class. So, of course, when a woman in the 70s departs from her husband, she has no class, right? Wow. That's what I've heard before, or I've seen. So here we are in the present tense, and hopefully things are getting better. They are getting better. So this is the poem I'm going to start with. This is most recent work. It's called A Stort Lesson. A Stort's Lesson. A Stort. So I'm a Stort of teaching, or lesson, or learning. Okay. The phone is turned off. A Stort Lesson. Let me make myself clear. Sometimes apples and oranges are not always pears. Unless you learn to share. I'll read again. A Stort's Lesson. Let me make myself clear. Sometimes apples and oranges are not always pears. You can use however you want, P-A-R-S or P-A-I-R, unless you learn to share. Sometimes apple and oranges are not always pears, unless you learn to share. That's inspired by, what was her name? Oh, I can't remember her name now. Well, anyway, it'll come to me. I believe, no. She's a well-known poet, and what she does is she repeats her poems because they're so intense or dense to grasp the language. And so that's why I read like I do too. She's on the tip of my tongue. I wish I could tell you her name. Anyway, Kathy comes to mind, but that's not who it is. Kay Ryan, maybe? Kay Ryan is a poet? Yeah, Kay Ryan. She does all this technical writing and succinctly condensed and minimalism, but it all works out for the best. And so that's from the new collection. I have only 7 poems from, or less. I may combine the poems to make one poem, a lyrical poem, since I'm trying to minimize some of the writing at this time. What else was I going to read? Anyway, this is from Restful Spirits and Wealthy Souls, Setting My Tempo, Musical Ableism Poetry. Now, I'm reading from this because I wrote this in 2003, 2004, and to the present, or up until the new year, because I was applying for a poet laureate position in my county. So I felt like to offset the worry of being chosen or not being chosen, I could go ahead and write my own poems and exhaust that tension or anticipation. So at the end of this series, which is, I was amazed that I produced a collection of 100 poems at least. And what happened, I asked the book itself, or the writing, if you will, if you're a meditative person and you're trying to hone in on what your book is about as you write it, I asked myself, what is the conclusion? What is the turnkey? What offsets this, and why does this book come to be what it is? And what is the meaning of it? And how does it lead to the next book? Because all the books that I write in poetry, I believe, are all connected, just like Carl Phillips says. They're part of the whole, if you will, of a continued body of work. And maybe Knopf sometime will publish it for me before I'm dead. Because usually that's how it goes with artists, right? And poets especially, because they're not rewarded as fiction writers are. Even though they write biography as well as fiction and memoir and even comedy. So anyway, enough of that. Okay, so this is on page 21 of this collection. You can get on Walmart, right? On Amazon.com. It's paperback. I don't think I released it in hardcover yet. It is not large print. Maybe in the future it will be. I don't have a lot of energy at this point to do all that because I'm working on another book, as you know. And oh, yeah, I'm going to read from that next after these 3 poems. So I'm going to read 3 poems from the end of this series. I'm not going to read the essay Dear Universe, because that has to do with more personable stuff, and was inspired by Glenise Redman, and how we have these meditations on how we write to the universe about the things we have and need to forgive ourselves of not having, something like that. Okay, so this is chapter 9. I don't think I had I do have a table of contents in here. It's 1 through 9. I did the chapters. Okay, so this is the last chapter. So there's 9 of them. I hope I don't get emotional about these because they are important. I will take my time, and they reflect on the whole collection, and they conclude some of the fragments or tail end of the stories. You know, it connects. Okay, I don't have my glasses, but here we go. Chapter 9, Privacy. In the color television, my world was a Disney club. I noticed a smile not my voice, though jokes and laughter, or through jokes and laughter revealed the way it would be, like a body without feelings, like a feeling could hug a boy, a man, or them, him, as we move forward on. In the private times, off, we never talked about and avoided love. It was never about being naked or being nude skin. It was about being private. Nothing left to imagine on the big screen television or in the magazines for adults. It wasn't about being seen or invisible to the secrets that the body is noted private. If when every part tries, rising like the Holy Spirit, everything has its privates. If only. If we could have met before, if the world doesn't explode or smolder like a volcano, hold on, hold on. If can't listen to me online, if only you had time to understand, we are in the same airplane trying to hold on, hold on. If I could read what you wrote, if red was more than bleeding from the plastic cut, from flesh touching my skin that held me together, if only you were home, if only you didn't leave, if only we were human, I would hold on and on. In the point of being human, of course, you think it's just physical, but it's spiritual too. But we forget that sometimes, and we forget that we're either one or both. Anyway, you don't know this, but as you age, you will begin to die. It is a given virtue, something to consider. From relationship to relates with grown-ups. It is supposed to happen. Hearts, eyes, your hands, anyway, she loves him. We were friends first, before we were physical. They learned to learn. Every conflict, a right to pass on endless tempos that separate parent. Divorce matters to results. Anyway, you didn't call. You didn't answer the text. We feel openly lost, like whatever is possible. Anyway, we were together. After they were friends, and then we weren't. I wanted to say, we went on, but I can't speak for them, or him, or her, or them. But we made our way. By creating our circles, making it together, but alone, like loneliness is, like immediate families, were like my own. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Or it does matter. They have moved, like you can. I can go on. Anyway. I thought that was a good reading for today. I did this early in the morning, and I don't know why, but this book called to me. And as you know, I have 4 or 5 other chapbooks after that, and they didn't call to me. So, and now I'm going to read from this new collection, a book collection that I'm going to have out. It's called My Meditative Journey, because I've been working on meditative writing and reading. As you can know, the music is on. There you are. Hope you can hear it. If not, I'll turn it up a little bit more. There. So, doesn't matter at this point. Okay, so I was looking at which poem. I don't want to read the reflections, but I did wanted to read one. So, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, let's see. I'll read that one and maybe I'll read the other one. Let me see. Let's see if I can make this better to see. Okay. And then I'll do a search for it. There it is. Okay, good. All right, this is another one from my childhood or other people's childhood that I recall. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but I'm sure it has some basis on the 1970s to the present and how people raise their children and how children are imprinted upon. How's that? We'll say that. So this is called From My Meditative Journey. That's the name of it, My Meditative Journey. And it's called For Children in the Basement. I know you did not say it when you were together until we surrendered. For the things called life, I know it was never right. We lived our lives. Told the teacher, I request your help, but no one came. Keep me safe, feed the family. In a world caught in frames, almost like lovely friends, I know it is wrong, so I left that place, that house, your home, where meals were few and the fasting cured. They want to be needed. It isn't easy to live when that is all you have to do with you. When that is all you have to do with you. When all the walls got smashed, hope remained behind. There was little to cry over. A day I left you there, the day I left you there, in the safest of places. In the grave we lived, and the best we could be, or maybe not. Perhaps, once again, better to ourselves. The mistakes go on. A right place to live, a passage for children that seemed better than me. A little better, safer together, like equality with a friend. And the house looks better, with a wishbone angel there. I hope you like this reading. And I'm not giving you complete explanations of these poems because I think they're self-evident if you listen to the tone of my voice and the words themselves and how they are minimized and expressive in their own right and fragmented. So it may or may not relate to silent people and people in your life. So anyway, as I fix my hair. But I hope you enjoy it. Please read some Ocean Voung's book, Ocean Voung. He is a poet and a award-winning fiction writer. And please look up my work. If not, listen to my poems on Instagram and Facebook. And please let me know that you've read them. And if you know anyone who likes to collaborate with my work or even likes me to do a reading that they pay for, that would be great too, as I did complete my master's in this somehow. Anyway, my number, right. I appreciate it. You take care, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.